All right, guys, back on 5th Frontier War. I'm on turn 15, and we've got our biggest battle of the game. This is the battle for Regina here. This is the subsector capital here. You note that in red on the name. That's worth 20 victory points. So, and it's also centered around a bunch of worlds. There's a lot of victory points to be had around here. See, it's got naval bases around it. The Imperials decided they wanted to contest this against the Zodani. So far, they haven't contested really anything. They've just because they're so outnumbered, they're so outclassed. So they said, "Nah, we're gonna make a battle here, and we'll see how that goes." It may be a bad decision by them because they're definitely outnumbered, and we'll show that here. I have made my battle board here. This is, definitely, put a lot of effort into this. And so what? I'll look at the total of attack factors here. The Zodani are 58. Imperials are only at 25. Very lopsided here. There are some advantages for the Imperials. One, they have a tech advantage, which will give them a column shift. The other is they have a tactics advantage, so they'll get a +1 on their die roll. Zodani are getting a -1 on their die roll. All right, here's the fleets. The Zodani have their second assault fleet, and they jumped in the Zero Plot Admiral with the 40th fleet when they saw the Imperials were massing here to kind of contest it. The Imperials, meanwhile, they have the 213th Fleet and the 100th Fleet, both in there. In addition, these aren't part of the fleet, but they were all parked in there in Regina. They're these slow ships, but, they have some combat potential, and the Imperials don't mind if they lose them. They also parked these scout squadrons there because they give them the ability to take losses. They have no space combat ability, but they can take some losses. So we'll see how it goes. How you determine what admiral leads is their precedent number. So the Zodani would love if this guy would lead, but he's only a 14. This guy's a 6, so he'll take charge. He's got 0 tactics. Now, the Imperials have the Vargar, but the Vargar mercenary, as far as I can tell, doesn't count. He will always be overruled by an Imperial Admiral, which in this case is Matume, who's good in tactics. He's got a +2, and so he will take charge, and that will give them an advantage. So, we look at the strengths here, and this is really simple to do. Red's Imperial, blues, we look at the chart. Well, 48 is what? Here? Well, they have more than 48. They have 58, so they're going to roll 2 dice. They're going to roll, the Zodani are going to get 1 on the 48. They're going to get 1 on the 6. They're going to combine them, and that'll be their damage. So on the 48, they get a 6. That'll be -1. That's a good result for them. They're going to get 10. And then they're going to roll on the 6. This will be a -1. They get nothing. So they're going to do 11 damage. The Imperials, I'm going to note that down here. The Imperials, meanwhile, they're shooting back on 25, the 25 table, but they get a column shift, so they're up to the 30, and they get +1 on their roll. They roll a 2 up to 3. This is going to do 6. So this is not going well for them. So they're going to lose 11, and they're going to lose, and they want to do this, how? Okay, they want to lose the least amount here. What is useless? Well, this guy's pretty useless. So he's worth 6. I could flip him for 3, but we'll just kill him because he doesn't do anything. So that's 6 points, and I'd like to lose a 5-pointer. I don't really want to lose a battle squadron. I could lose one of these slow cruisers, and I will. And that's my 11. That's going to knock my space combat down 1. So we're going down to 24, which is okay, because 24 keeps me on the table. So Now the Imperials can lose 6. They don't really want to lose their tankers. They give them some mobility. They don't want to lose their assault transports. 3 points to lose a scout squadron. Do they want to lose that other one? They've also got some damage squadrons, and that's not a bad deal for them to lose. Oh boy, what do I want to do here? We don't want to damage any of our good battle squadrons. We got 6. 6 is not good. We're going to lose this cruiser squadron. That'll be 6. That's going to drop us... oh, and actually I have a dead pool here. So there we go. We're putting all our dead guys down here. That's going to drop their firepower up 3 points. So they're going to go down to 55. Now, okay. The Imperials can retreat. Why can they retreat? Well, they control the world. They control Regina, and there's a naval base there. They can refuel all their squadrons when they're in there. So they can withdraw everyone if they want. The question is, do they want to do that? Or do they want to continue to try and damage the Zodani? Now, the advantage the Imperials have here is they can retreat, say, from Regina to Jenga with everyone. There's a base there. They can repair their ships there during the reinforcement phase for one, or during the replacement reinforcement phase, for 1 replacement point per ship. So they can actually, they have, I want to say 11, they have 11 squadron replacement points. So they could damage up to 11 of these guys, retreat, repair them all, and then potentially go after him again. I don't know. The Zero Plot Admiral certainly could. He's a 2. I don't think he can bring those guys in. But I can incorporate these into his fleet, and we could go at it again. So that, I think we want to continue to try and hurt the Zodani. So we're going to go another round. All right. So the Zodani, they're at 55. So they're at -1. Another 6. So they get 10. And then they're rolling on the 6 table again for their extra. So they get 10. They roll. Okay, another 6 goes to a 5. They're doing 12 damage. So yeah, they're not doing too shabby here. Okay, the Imperials, meanwhile, they're still on the 30 table. They're +1. They roll a 4. That's a 5. They do 7. All right. They're probably going to retreat after this round. They were hoping for some better die rolls. All right, so they got 7. They don't want to destroy anybody because they can replace these guys for the most part. Is there anything... Okay, we could do 3. We don't want to kill the scout squadrons because then we have to replace them outside. We don't want to damage the big guys. Scout squadrons just die. You can't flip them. Like, I can flip this guy. And that'll give me... That's 1 loss point. So I can go 1. And that's 3. That's 4. And it doesn't much matter. There's 7. Right? Yeah. So there's... 7. We gotta do 12. Geez, 7. Boy. 7. There's 9. And then flip him for 12. So yeah, they took a beating there. Like I said, though, they have the ability to fix them back up right away. All right, 7 points over here on the... Well, they don't want 2 jump-rated ships. That would be 3 just to kill him. And do I have a 4? I have a 4 over here. I could kill this guy. Yeah, we're going to take these 2 guys. We can rebuild them on our off map, and that would be all right. All right, so these guys are gone. That's our casualty total. The Imperials at this point are going to break off and call it a day. All right, so I've moved the fleets back onto the board. One of the deals with this, though, is going to be that the Zero Plot Admiral, he's got a higher precedence on the Zodani than this guy. They're actually going to flip fleets. I could rearrange the fleets to give him more, but it just makes sense. He has to have more ships than him, and you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world to have a Zero Plot Admiral with that big fleet. I think at this point in the game, it's okay. It was nice having this very fast fleet to move around with a Zero Plot Admiral, but we'll be okay with that. I've put the Imperials retreated here into Chang'e, and so this was not a problem for them because the 100th Fleet is a Zero Plot Admiral. The 213th was a 2-plot admiral, but they had plotted to hold there anyway, so they're okay. It doesn't really affect. They applied to hold at Regina, so it just puts them back to a hold order in essence. So it doesn't really affect them. I'll go through the rest of the steps. Regina is well defended in terms of troops, but unfortunately they only have 10 system defense boats. Which is a bummer because, if they had a lot, they would come out and try and do more damage to the Zodani fleet, but they don't. However, they have a lot of troops there, a lot of counters, plus they have 1,500 troops inherent. They have a 500 troop counter, I think a couple of 100 troop counters, so they have significant force there. You see the Imperials have this corridor fleet moving up there. That's a powerful fleet as well. So they really, as Imperials, I think it's important to try and make a stand somewhere. You can't just continue to let the Zodani take everything. The victory points are almost up to the point where they can get an automatic victory. Now, granted, it's turn 15. They can't do that until turn 26. I put the little circle there. So, they have some time, but I think it's important to try and wear the Zodani down. The Zodani are coming down this way with some big fleets too. So they're going to take all this stuff too. They got another big fleet up here, which is going to come down. There's some very valuable worlds up here they can take. So that's kind of where we're at this point. So I'll do the rest of the battle, ground battle and such off camera because it's it's just dice rolling. Nothing too interesting happens there. All right.